about an HR concept in handling conflict resolution. I call it the cycle of pain. I've heard it called the cycle of pain, the pain cycle, the circle of pain. It's all the same thing. And all of us have been there before. We all know what it's like. Basically, it comes from the concept that hurt people hurt people. And when you're hurt, generally what happens is you lash out and you hurt the person that hurt you or somebody else. And then when they're hurt, they then respond because of that pain hurting you back. And what ends up happening is it escalates and it keeps escalating and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And something that might have been a small problem becomes a massive problem, a blowout. And it can lead to really, really unrepairable damage if it's not dealt with. This happens if you've ever been in a committed relationship. I guarantee you've probably done this before. This cycle of escalation, the cycle of pain. So how do we avoid the cycle? It's very important. One, you have to be the bigger person, the more mature person. And so these are the steps to ending the cycle. Only you can decide to end this cycle of pain. So first, you have to recognize that you're in the cycle of pain and that you are a part of the problem. The cycle of pain can't continue to go around and back and forth without correspondence and you being engaged in it. So first is recognizing you're part of the cycle and you're part of the problem. Second is to stop hurting whoever you're hurting, right? End that. Stop it. Pause. If you need a break, take a quick break. Next is recognizing where you've been wrong or what you've done to add to the cycle of pain. Be honest and critically evaluate. Okay, I've actually done this wrong. I was aggressive. I shouldn't have said this. And own up to that personally. Then you ask for forgiveness in the ways that you've been wrong, in the ways that you've added to the cycle of pain. And be honest, be clear on where you've gone wrong, what you've done that was mean or harmful or hurtful. And then lastly, forgive the other person, whether they'll receive it or not. Now, this is kind of maybe a weird concept. Generally, we don't want to forgive people unless they're asking for forgiveness. But unforgiveness is a dangerous thing. It can literally manifest with bodily and physical problems. There's a lot of people that have written books on this, doctors that have written books that unforgiveness leads to pain in the body. And so forgiving people actually helps you. Forgiving people helps you sometimes more than it helps the other person. And so I would encourage you to do that as the last step, whether they'll receive it or not. You can't control others. Sometimes we can't even control our own emotions, but we can control our actions. And so in this, this world where there's a lot of hurt going around, you'll engage in the pain cycle. And I encourage you to use these steps to stop it or to help other people break this cycle of pain. In my own life, with my wife, one of our biggest fights, one of our biggest arguments was over mushrooms. Not like any kind of fancy, expensive drug mushrooms or anything like that. It was just mushrooms, like normal mushrooms. But what happened was a small problem became a massive fight because of the cycle of pain. It kept escalating and escalating, and we kept hurting each other more and more and more. And our biggest fight started and continued because of the cycle of pain over mushrooms. So I hope that's helpful for you guys today. Hopefully you can use that in your workspace, in your family relationships, in your personal relationships to have better relationships and notice the cycle of pain early and deal with it